Hello, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and everybody else under the rainbow of our wonderful community. How are you doing today? We are back once again with Save the Villainess demo, part 2, I believe. We kind of did just like the getting into the story and getting to the house, and now, hopefully, fingers crossed, the, what was it that I need to watch out for? The shiplap. Hopefully the shiplap doesn't kill us. We can meet my husbando and, start the romance. As always, not as always, excuse me, but as the last episode, I can't have the music on because of YouTube not liking it. So if you want to hear the music, which is beautiful, by the way, consider checking out the demo yourself on Steam. I mean, I like it so far, so wait, what is the truth? Wait a minute. What's this? Did I click this last time? You're not ready for the truth. Okay, game. Okay. Can't say the word I want to say because it's too early in the YouTube vid, but I think everyone knows what I want to say. No, I didn't want to do that. I have a game. Let's do this one. Yes. I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks, so it's all coming back to me slowly but surely. Fire truck, exactly, Tompy. Fire truck. Okay, so we did we sleep and we had the dream? There was something. I know we took a bath last night. We're in this house. Everything in the house wants to kill us. I'm pretty sure. God, I love the hair movements. Okay. What is this love? Okay. Continue. Okay, my bad. Maybe I clicked that last time too. Okay. Let's continue then. So, I'm unable to escape from this horror even in my dreams? Is this meant as an attempt at intimidation? Well, I do not respond well to intimidation. Or do I? I know I'm trapped in a story I read, but it's hard to remember who I was before this. Perhaps I was affected by whatever hurt Lady Jane. No, this is garbage. If I cannot remember my own past, must I be cursed with ominous warnings meant for someone else? Obviously, my tormentors do not know me very well. After all, even if I do not know myself well, I know one thing. Whoever I am, even if I'm trapped in the body of the villainess the story is determined to destroy. If you take away my arms, I will kick you. That's a nice attitude to have. If you take away my legs, I'll bite you. If you take away my teeth, my gums will make you bleed. I will not be defeated. I'll find a way to escape this mad world. Good morning, world, here I come. Okay, at least it actually becomes day. I was kind of scared that it would not become day in this weird house. After I find some clothes that are not transparent in the light. Oh yeah, that would be a good start, Jane. Where should I go to find clothing? I suppose I could go back to look in the dresser. Or the wainscoting could just... What did I say earlier? Shiplap? I said shiplap. That's a completely other thing. Wainscoting. These things will take me out. Imagine it being shiplap, though. Nope. Shiplap, good. Wainscoting, potentially evil. Got it. Or the wainscoting could just drop an outfit in front of me along with a large apple. I am a little concerned about the house's obsession with providing me with apples. Is it saying I look like a roast pig? Regardless, I'll save an apple for the future in case there is somewhere with no wainscoting to provide me with food. As impossible as that seems. At least I also now have a suspiciously well-fitting dress that will not suddenly tangle around my legs should I need to flee. The nightgown was beautifully made, but delicate things are not very useful when fleeing for your life. I will be a champion fleer in this dress. Yes, the iconic one that you see in all the TikToks. I will say, I do wish that she was more centered when it's just her, because I feel like this hides a lot of her clothing and stuff, so I do wish she was more centered here. So before I flee, I need to find more information about Lady Jane Neville and the people who want to kill her. There's no point in fleeing this suspicious house if I just walk instantly into the arms of Jane Neville's former fiancé. Who knows, it might not just be Jane's fiancé who wants to murder her. At some point, I need to see if she just has a murderable face. I shall explore this house and see if I can find some mysterious other residents and subtly learn what clues they can tell me. Husbando! Husbando! See, like that. Yes, I just wanted her in the middle. Then I will flee in my very fleeable dress. It is so comforting to have a plan. Ooh! She's blinking! Again. So, where shall I go now? That's cool, I didn't want to go back to my room anyway. That was not at all unnerving. I assume the bedroom was glad to be rid of me. I can only hope that the rest of the house feels similarly. If so, I hope that I can quickly find the other inhabitants and get the information I need. Marlena. I wanna like click things. This is strange. I could have sworn this hallway had another entrance, yet I only see the door to the bedroom. Perhaps if I go back to the bedroom, I'll find another exit that I missed. Bet you the door's gonna be locked. This looks strange. What's going on here? Oh my god! It just brought us to the front! This is not the bedroom. Hello? Is anybody here? None of this seems right. Yes, I can move! You guys see anything? I don't see our little buddy from earlier with the lot of teeth. If I look around, this seems like a manor long deserted, not a house that's being lived in by multiple people. What is going on here? The Crown Prince of Carcosa is behind that door. What will you do? Ignore it because I'm into the Duke. What? Oh shit, I forgot there's a timer. Fuck it, we run. Fuck it, we run. What is happening? Why is a strange voice speaking to me? I have excellent legs and strong lungs and have been eager to try out my new non-leg tangling dress. That's what we're doing. We are testing the dress's runnability. Yet it's still strange that a voice in my ear would tell me to run away. Running does seem like a better option than staying here, but I need to think first. Serene. I must be serene. If you're serene, we can't run. This is ridiculous. Obviously, I'm merely being blinded by wainscoting and need more rest. If I move close... I said run. Why do you want to move closer to the door when I said to run? I probably should have saved before every decision too, because we can die in this game. If I move closer to the door... I can see nothing unusual. Nothing unusual for this house, at least. How could the Crown Prince of Carcosa possibly be on the other side of this door? Oh, that's... I know he's smiling, but it's kind of creepy. I do like the character designs. That's not me! I would like to move up, please. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the prince. Very much so. Not prince? Question mark. Jane? Is that you? It's hard to see with all this light in my eyes. I recognize this man. This is Edmund Alpin. I hope you're doing well, Jane, despite the recent problems. The Crown Prince of Carcosa. It is fitting that I only remember the handsome prince from the terrible novel and not anything useful, such as whether or not he plans to smother me with ominous cushions. We'll never let go of the fact that we lost to the cushions. He did not appear to be smuggling ominous cushions when I carefully looked him over for security reasons. I'm not prepared for this. What do I do now? I said to run in the beginning. I wanted to run before he saw us. I'm scared. I wasn't expecting to be scared by an otome, yet here we are. Hello, Your Highness. Goodbye, Your Highness. Jane? I could have sworn that there was not a giant hedge in front of the manor. It was very dark last night. More importantly, I feel incredibly disrespected. When presented with a choice by an ominous voice, in good faith, I chose the option that allowed me to get out of this situation. So why did my body move against my will when I had already decided to run when I was ready? Okay. So at least that is what is supposed to happen. It's not some, like, writing oversight. Because I was quite mad. I didn't want him to see us. The Crown Prince had not even stopped sparkling in the light. Everyone knows that you do not make a dramatic escape until the Crown Prince stops sparkling. It appears you doubt my guidance. Well, would you be pleased to listen to an ominous voice in your ear? Point taken. Also, your advice is terrible. A good ominous voice would at least let me say something impressive, such as, "From the depths of oblivion, I curse thee," before I had to do something stupid. You made me say, "Hello, Your Highness, goodbye, Your Highness." How can I be a good villainess with such pathetic words? That is not even addressing my ridiculous run. So you did not wish to run? I had no desire to run so far and hard with some other force controlling my body. Fine. The decisions are yours. You'll realize the truth soon enough. And wish you had run even farther. That's mine! The weirdo in the back? That one's mine! Huh. You sound even more foolish now. You gotta go to the next one? Yep, he is. And the next one, this is gonna happen twice. 2 more times. Nobody could run any farther in skirts than I did. Right there? This one? Oh, I love that. Okay. We should be hearing him. So, I am finally free of voices and in a scenic hedge. Okay, I was warned that he was kind of a freak, but I wasn't expecting him to be whatever the fuck this is. At least I can stop worrying about terrible romance novel fiancés until I catch my breath. I'm gonna enjoy this one now and wait for it. Yeah, he could kill me and I'd say thank you. Honestly, if he's the killer, that's just how I go out. It's cool with me. Oh, man. So you did escape the hedge, Jane. Who is this man and why is he covered in leaves? Wait, I know him. We know everyone. This is Izel Kuzi, Duke of the North. Kuzi? I'm gonna say Kuzi. Duke of the North. Romance novels are terrible at naming places. Now, look. She's not wrong, but it's so easy to remember Duke of the North when you've read a bunch of, comics, and it's like, which one's your favorite? Do you like the Prince or the Deuce? Like, the Duke? Oh, which one? The North? It's always the Duke of the North. Always. For some reason, they put them in the North to, like, give them this thing of, like, oh, they hate people because it's dark and it's cold in the North. And it's like, I don't like people either. We're going north. No, I went north from where I lived before. No, it's fine. No, that still holds up. I was like, I didn't move too far north. I did, actually. It's fine. That's valid. Also, apparently the only thing I remember from reading novels is the descriptions of attractive men. That seems fair. And that is why it is important to determine whether it is a good hedge or a bad hedge before moving. Jane, we really need to listen to the man if he's giving sound advice. You have to be careful about hedges, Jane. I do not want you to be hurt by a bad hedge. Somehow I have missed everything Lord Izel said. I'll need to subtly change the subject to hide my inattention. Do you enjoy lurking in bushes, Lord Izel? Sometimes I have to do things I do not enjoy in order to do things that I do enjoy. Now I wish these leaves would stop following me. Duke Izel's presence forces me to realize that my situation is even more confusing than I imagined. I was so sure that Prince Edmund was the former fiancé that I was escaping, especially since I was literally forced to escape from him. However, a Duke of the North who sneaks around in bushes is both suspicious and a good candidate for being a bad romance novel's male lead. Which of them was the fiancé who betrayed Jane and sent her into exile? Unless... could one of these two men be the patron who helped Jane and me escape from prison to come here in the first place? Who is who? Is Prince Edmund a sparkly yet murderous fiancé or an equally sparkly yet helpful patron? Is Lord Ezel a suspicious hedgeman? Well, yes, but is Lord Ezel also a former fiancé? Could he be my patron? How can I tell? Are you hurt, Jane? Did the pushes ambush you? Why am I surrounded by people who want my destruction? Especially the wainscoting. Probably because they're jealous of how hard you've been training. Pardon me? Jane, you've always been the hardest working person I know. Your enemies must have seen your efforts and grown jealous of you. They have? Then what should I do? Obviously, you must train hard to overcome all future trials. Luckily, I'm here to help you. By the time I'm done training you, no one will doubt your strength, brilliance, and cunning. You'll overcome every last obstacle. Does this strange Duke of the North even know what genre he's in? We're not supposed to be we are supposed to be in a bad romance. Sorry. We're supposed to be in a bad romance, not an action-adventure series. Perhaps I should have fought harder to stay with the prince dressed like a human chandelier. Yet, that may be unfair. Duke Ezel may not be quite as obsessed with training as he seems on first impression. Perhaps he has other sides to his personality. It is good to see you again, Jane. I have been waiting in these hedges for some time in hopes of our next meeting. That's weird. That's just weird. Well, at least he's not only interested in training and growing stronger, he's also obsessed with hedges. Having diverse interests is important. Yet this is still not helping me determine whether or not he's Lady Jane's fiancé, and whether he's training her to survive, or whether he wishes her to die in some sort of training accident. Still, I do not remember any male leads in romance novels being so focused on hedges. Then again, I do not remember any romance novels at all. Perhaps romances are mostly centered around hedge care? Unfortunately, I do not think the ominous voice is going to help me run anymore, so I have no easy way of leaving the situation. Okay, we're gonna save. Return. Okay, so how should I answer this hedgeman who could be either friend or foe? Okay, so there's a butterfly. So you wish to know more about love. I was forced to come here. You seek me as your tutor? Your trust in strangers and talking objects is noted. I have created a gallery that will provide what you seek. You will be able to judge affection through writing, portraits, moods, and numbers. After all, you love to see success in every form. Do you consider success to be bringing happiness or misery? Your pleasure is your choice. What story will you tell? Or what story will be told of you? Okay. Okay. Okay, Ezel is perfectly neutral. You are not happy with the state of this gallery. You wish for more options? Perhaps you need some further explanation. This is Duke Izel Kuze. Kuze sounds a lot better. That sounds like a proper Duke name, I think. Never mind. Why bother showing the entire man when the only part you care— Now, wait! Where are you gonna go with this? Okay, good. It's the face. Good. I know what you value, and here is where you can discover the effects of your choices. It is true, I did fall for his face. In this very special gallery, those who are capable of receiving love will show you how they feel about the actions of Jane Neville. For instance, how do you think Duke Izel feels right now about Jane's actions? Well, I read that it was neutral. Of course, Jane has not taken any actions yet. That is why this answer should be easy. Neutral. Duke Izel feels neutral about Jane's non-existent actions towards him. Fine. Why do we not see what happens if Jane performs an action that makes Duke Izel feel happier? Is that not an incredible difference? Nothing changed. Can you not see the joy beaming from his face? I am being gaslit by this game, I feel. Perhaps Duke Izel's expressions are not as informative as we could hope. In which case, I have helpful numbers and instructions to share with those less perceptive than myself. Okay, I was wondering if it was going to stop where I thought it was going to stop. Like all good galleries, we have a helpful explanation of the portrait to help those with less understanding of art. As you can see, it currently says that Duke Izel feels perfectly neutral. Should an action be performed that makes him happy, the writing will show the change in his mood, adding or subtracting the amount he is happy. There will also be signs shown at the time a choice is made, depending on whether or not you wish to watch a story play out or be a true detective. You're still complaining about your lack of options, are you not? Very well. I live to serve. Is this the servant? While this exhibit is not yet uncovered, you'll find a portrait for it soon enough. However, these portraits will not last forever. The choices made will determine who is capable of being loved, and who will have a curtain drawn over their future. Choose wisely and remember. I have a feeling it's going to be something like Save the Villainess. Remember what? Wait a minute. So how should I answer this hedgeman who could be either friend or foe? I'm gonna save again. Okay. How do you plan to train me? Do you plan to prick me? Well, he said he doesn't want me to be hurt by the bad hedges. I feel like he might prefer, like, how do you plan to train me? Okay, I'm gonna go with that. How do you plan to train me? Come on. Yes! Hearts, yes, good. So how do you plan to train me? Jane, I am glad you're ready for training again after all that has happened. We'll work to show your speed, strength, and cunning to all around you. No one will dare doubt your abilities. Unfortunately, Duke Izel appears to be saying that I'm surrounded by my enemies. And he's probably right. If that is the case, I really do need to train to get stronger. There are likely far too many people out to dismember me because of Lady Jane's villainous ways. I should thank Duke Izel for the excellent warning. Thank you, Dukizel, for letting me know about this threat. I'll try to become more difficult to dismember. Perhaps that will prevent future blades from reaching me. Oh, if you have already... Excuse me. Oh, if you've already had some blades pierce through you, it is all the more important to practice dodging. Obviously, my problem is that I have not spent enough time dodging. Do you know where I can find a tutor? I am more than willing to help you practice your skills, Jane. After all, I am very good at dodging... And piercing? Just gonna have a little bit of that. Oh! She says dodging, and I thought he was coming in for, like, a kiss on the cheek kind of thing. Damn. That is very good dodging. Whenever you're willing to see my pierce... Sir! And then I read the rest of the sentence. Cold shower indeed, Tomper. Whenever you're willing to see my piercing skills, I have my tool at the ready. But we should not yet talk about the sheath. I can't be the only one. Not again. Not again. I cannot be the only one with that. But we should not yet talk about sheathing hard weapons within you or anyone else. There are far more important tasks before we start training together. I have a list. Well, I had a list. Did you lose it among the bushes or when pricking soft women while training them? I do not prick women. I've never yet pricked a woman. After all, I am yet... That's not... It's not what she meant. I am yet unmarried. Can we get through one line without a double on top? No. The answer is no. With Ezel, no. I'm thinking no. And I have been very careful about doing my business in these bushes, so what kind of business, sir? I know I had my list somewhere up my sleeves. Okay, the flowers. Go to Jane's Manor, find Jane, solve problems. I like that list. That's a good list. That's a good list. I can focus on that list. As you can see, there's only one step left. Dukizel, I am morbidly curious about what the solve problems part of this list means. Shh. Just want to make sure, okay? Are you here to help me? Am I the problem you're solving? No, I feel like he's here to help, right? No! No. Shh. Shh. You guys didn't see anything. You didn't see shit. Am I the problem you are solving? Look, it's a demo. I want the right answers, okay? Am I the problem that you are solving? You are always so clever, Jane. I wrote an entire list about your brilliance. The man likes a list. I can respect that. It is nice that Dukazel thought enough of me to include me in all 3 steps on his list. However, I should probably subtly see if he is as sneaky as his excellent hiding skills suggest. He wasn't that good, though. You're just a little oblivious. What else might be concealed in those cleverly chosen words on his list? That list says problems, not problem. What else are you solving other than me? Jane, you are the cleverest person I know. How did you notice there were multiple problems? I am very good at reading. Of course you are. You've discovered my secret about the problems. The truth is, yes? I do not know what all the other problems are, yet. But my list will reveal its secrets to me once I am able to handle the truth. After all, my father taught me to always listen to the heart of the list. Believe in the heart of the cards. Since you have found one of the truths in the list's heart, I should adjust the list to show what you discovered. Let us officially add you to the list. Go to Jane's Manor, find Jane, solve problems. 3A, Jane. I am one of the problems. What's 3B? What's the other? Okay, well, can we write a B down so people know there's other problems to solve? It's not just me. Hey! Okay. Hey, buddy. I was good, and then I saw the teeth. I got really excited because I do enjoy your top hat, but the teeth thing and the lots of little... No, the little legs got shoes on. I'm cool with that. It's the teeth. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I thought you would... Yep, I thought you'd go all the way... Yep. Good to see you. Everyone's telling me to worry about the wainscoting. I feel like we gotta worry about him. Now all we need to do is follow my list and the troubles will be over very soon. I see. I do not see. I think I'm more confused than when I started, frankly. Obviously, what I need to do is find a subtle way to learn more about what he's intending. If we say the list is incomplete... Well, he does like plants. I'm impressed by plants, I think is good. Shh. Save. No one else is telling me to do it, so I'm doing it for me. I am impressed by plants. Come on, come on. Yes! Good shit. I am impressed by plans. Since you make so many plans, you're very impressive. I do think I'm very good at making plans. Thank you for noticing. As an investigative genius, I was able to deduce your interest in lists as well. I always enjoy discussing plans and lists. Okay, you two. This is some more innuendo stuff. Let's get the ball rolling. I have a list of all my plans, and a list of the list of my plans. Okay, so do I. Damn. It does mean I have less space for clothing, but luckily my father's old clothes can fit well under the papers. Come to think of it, I probably need a list of what lists I put the clothing under. It's very hard to find socks now. Wait, what? Why do you need lists for? Well, otherwise, a sofa keeps eating them. You have to have enough lists that if a sofa is attacking you, you can fight them off with a spare list so they do not eat your finger instead. Could the bed have eaten me in the night? Make sure not to get the list and the finger confused. My uncle made that mistake. That's why they call him the three-toed bald Kuzay. So, somehow, when he put out his finger instead of a list, he lost both his toes and his hair? No, but he lost the plan for keeping people from noticing his hair loss. I'm so glad you understand how important it is to plan for luxurious hair. I mean, I feel like you both have very nice hair. That is something important to remember. I am glad that you're smart enough to understand my plans, Jane. Look at my very complicated list and how much I have done. I went to your manor, I found you. Now I solve problems. It is a little more challenging to have you on the list as well, but I will find a way to make it work. Like that time we decided to learn how to do sword dancing. Sword dancing? We trained in sword dancing? Do you not remember when we decided to learn sword dancing? Of course I do. How could I forget that? Unforgettable time we decided to learn sword dancing. Of course I do not. What kind of romance novel features sword dancing? I'm going to accidentally murder myself if he hands me a sword. How can I possibly pretend to be Jane Neville, who frankly seemed more amazing by the minute? All I need to do is be subtle, and I should be able to avoid his suspicions. Yes, sword dancing. My absolute favorite hobby. It is unfortunate that we do not have any swords nearby to practice it again. Sword dancing would have been such a great part of our training regime. Regime? Regime. Regime, right? Regime. Regime? Which is it? How do I say that word? R-E-G-I-M-E? How do I say that? However, I am sure we can cope with this disappointment bravely. Very bravely. Extremely bravely. With graceful bravery, almost to the height of the house's wainscoting. You like sword dancing, Jane? But after we destroyed the gazebo, the hedge, and your father's beard, you told me that you never wanted to see me pricking anything ever again. Then you added, no swords either. But if you like swords... 3B, get swords. Jane's Manor, find Jane, solve problems, Jane. 3AI, sword dancing. Where's the pen? Does he have a quill and ink on him? Or is it like an actual pen? What are we writing with? This will be very helpful for solving problems. I am sure it will. Was the problem with that list truly the lack of sword dancing? I will obviously need to sharpen my investigative genius if I hope to survive in Jane Neville's body. Who knew romance novels involved so much sword dancing? I suppose that sword training makes sense given how many enemies a villainess must have. Let us hope that Ezel's cunning plan is not to have me murder myself. I am excited to see your sword handling skills again. In any case, moving away from my overwhelming passion for training with large, dangerous objects, would you like to go to the house, Duke Ezel? It must have been a long ride here. Surely you need to rest and refresh yourself. Then, while he's resting and refreshing, I can go to the stables, steal his horse, and ride away to safety. If I'm going to live up to Lady Jane's reputation as a villainess, this is the best way to do it. After all, I truly do not want to demonstrate my non-existent sword dancing skills. Even if Ezel does plan to train me, it would be hard to continue training sword skills that do not exist. Oh, I understand. When I want something, I think everyone else wants the same thing too. If you're hungry, Jane, I'll make sure that food is prepared for you. We always work up quite an appetite together. I will brave the hedge for you, Jane. I'll make sure I can feed your appetite. What? I do feel a little sorry for Duke Ezel. No, Ezel, since he keeps calling me Jane. He's very earnest and obviously not as subtle as I am. I wonder if his angelic face and sweet words hide something more sinister. Perhaps it is time to think things over. So far, I've seen 2 men on this estate. It makes sense that one of them would be Jane's fiance and the other her patron. So is the very relatable and very normal Ezel James' helpful patron, or her... Excuse me. Or is he her cruel fiance? How could I possibly tell? Especially without letting these men know that I do not remember Lady Jane's past. How can I tell without letting them know I am not Lady Jane? You know what? It's not a trope I enjoy, but just feign that you lost your memories. That works for everyone else. What will these men do if they realize I am not Lady Jane? I think I need to find a horse to steal. To the stables. I just need to find the stables first. Were the stables always at the end of this pathway? I don't think they were. I think that was a wall. Never mind. If life makes it easier to steal a horse, you do not ask too many questions. That's pretty. I love that the art also doesn't, like, change too much. Bro! No! Go back to what that was! What are you? What is that? Chat, what is that? So, where are the horses hiding? Ma'am, I need you to have a better sense of awareness. I don't know what the fuck that thing is in the top corner. It's freaking me out. Between the carriage that brought me here and however anyone else arrived, there must be at least one horse here. Horsey! Why is the horse talking? Are you looking for me? No, I refuse to believe I read that. No, I refuse to believe that I read that kind of novel. Why would I read novels about enchanted animals that need a kiss to turn back into attractive men? This is obviously a mistake of some kind. I am obviously so grateful to see you that my desire to mount you is overwhelming my common sense. Did you need to use the word mount? Did you? Did you? We went a few lines, chat, without innuendos. Nope. The double entendre. Nope. Yep. Nope. We're back. God. If you guys thought I was in the gutter, this game is keeping me there. Well, Jane, I can certainly take you for a ride if that is what you want. I don't know. Surely I did not have such bad taste in my past. I would know if I had such a strong desire for horse flesh. Who actually wishes to kiss a horse to get a worthy man? I'm not sure I qualify as a stallion, but I will take the compliment. Why on earth would I ride a stallion? I thought you were a gelding. I don't want to, actually. Jane, maybe you should take a just slightly farther over? I don't want to. Okay. Okay. I was debating. Oh, he's cute. I remember him from the beginning, but he's very cute. I just need a minute. I'm sorry. I wasn't. Oh God, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Oh, that was okay. Game. Okay, game had me in the first half. Not gonna lie. Now I can change his voice again. I have missed you, Jane. Ben? Thank goodness. I was afraid you're going to call me Lord Burren for the rest of my life. It is good to hear you say my name again. Ben Burren, only son of Duke Burren, childhood friend and neighbor of Jane Neville. I'm forced to realize that I truly do have an incredible memory for attractive men, and nothing else. Did Ben's exposed collarbone hypnotize me so much that I immediately blurted out a name that could only be used by someone very close to him? Ben is not upset, but I need to be less suspicious. Perhaps I can subtly change the subject? You look well, and not like someone who is about to murder me. That is true, although I am amazed that you can see me through all these petals. Why are there petals floating in a stable anyway? I have no idea. Maybe someone was storing potpourri in the rafters and the packets fell off when you came here? Those scented flower packets stink. Does that mean I'm going to spend the rest of my life smelling like the inside of a drawer? What's surprising is I feel like he should have had the leaves. Maybe I'm just matching green to green, but like, you know what? Actually, the juxtaposition of the rose petals is actually really nice. Think of it this way, Ben. What other foul-smelling objects would be floating through the air in a stable? Point taken. I will complain about the petals no further, even if they continue raining down on me. Have you tried nicely asking the house to stop? For instance, you could say, "Please stop making me smell like the inside of my mother's linen closet." Did that work? I do like his pocket watch. Goodbye, horse. I was very concerned. That is much better. Though your flower fall was too cruel a punishment for so small a sin. It's not my fault you mistook me for a horse. Though I am impressed that you managed to control those petals. I do not know why Ben thinks I did something to make the petals stop. Has he not tried asking the house for what he wants? When I said I wanted things, the house has occasionally responded. I assume that this is both because I asked for what I want and because it helps advance this terrible story's plot. Still, if Ben has not learned how to work with the house, I might have an advantage over him. If he tries to murder me, I can summon one of my endless apples, and the loud crunching noises will distract him long enough for me to flee. However, before I make plans to run, I need to make him think I'm sweet and useless so he does not suspect me. I am sweet and semi-useless. Perfect! But we got this, chat. Easy. It was cruel of you to pretend that animals can speak. To be fair, it was hard to reach you faster than Horse. He has always been bizarrely fond of you. Horse? Oh no, Jane. You did not get to pretend you did not name him. If I have had to explain that name for 14 years, you cannot forget that you forced me to choose it. Well, he seems to like the name. That is because Horse is, as I said, bizarrely fond of you. I assume it's because you have something special to attract him, and I have one guess. What do you use to wash your hair? Horse is always eager to sample it. So Horse does not want to murder me. This might help me eventually. Horse also has better taste in women than Jane's former fiancé, who I still do not remember. Of course, Ben's presence complicates the question of who Jane's fiancé is, but that is a thought for later. Right now, I need to decide just how friendly I want to be with the Potpourri Horseman, given who he might be in the story. Now, I'm not a fan of the friends to lovers, but for some reason, I'm really enjoying Ben. Like, the conversation is really natural. I can be sweet. You guys just don't bring that out in me. I can be, though. It is possible. A lot of it's fake, but it is possible. Save. Yes. That's a little off. Should I not have soaked my hair in oats? Come on, come on. Yes, good. I've seen you sweet before. It's definitely, it is very rare that I'm nice and sweet. I'm glad people notice it's very rare occurrence. Excuse me. Should I not have soaked my hair in oats? Your commitment to beauty standards and animal care is what I most admire about you. Although I suspect that your hair could attract more than Horse. Ooh! Ben? Kind of forward? Truly, attracting Horse was an accident. Really, I have been trying to lure squirrels to do my bidding. Wait, why on earth would I want to lure squirrels to do my bidding? Why on earth would you want to lure squirrels to do your bidding? Squirrels are nasty, terrifying creatures who will kill you with a blank look in their beady little eyes. Ben? I see. You plan to use bloodthirsty squirrels against your enemies. By the blood, the way your mind works makes me dizzy with amazement at my brilliance. Yes, amongst other things. Ignoring your brilliance, if you still are worried about attracting Horse, you need not be concerned. Your hair is lovely, with or without an additional scent. Almost as lovely as it is to see you again. You are so... I am so... Have you lost your voice? Are the words you're thinking too disturbing to share? Of course not. It's just that horse missed you. I don't think you killed me. I don't think you're the benefactor, but I don't think you killed me. Would Horse be flattered to know that I missed him too? I will have to thank him personally. Where is Horse? I could have sworn he was right beside me. He's right behind you. Oh, he's very clever. Horse managed to find himself an open stall with food where he can still stare lovingly at you. I could have sworn that stall had bars in front of it. Surely Horse is not capable of removing bolted planks with his teeth. I need to pay more attention to my surroundings. I obviously am imagining things, but I need to remember what I see. As it is, I need to be polite, but distant with Ben until I remember more. It's important that I do not say anything that could be misinterpreted as cruel or cold. I want to be able to move. I want to move. I hope your heavyweight did not inconvenience poor Horse since you rode him all the way here. Trust me, Jane. I did not inconvenience Horse in the least. Horse is very fond of my weight. Are you also fond of my inconvenient weight? No! No, a part of me thinks that you guys have been together. No, no, I don't think it's a threat. Is this a threat? It's been threatening to squash me with his bulk or aim other parts of his body. Now, that last part, probably yes. Those collarbones qualify as dangerous weapons, and those bare forearms are also alarming. Look at how muscular and powerful they are. Surely there is some way to defeat Ben's cunning plan to overwhelm me with his body. Honey. This is an otome. We're gonna get overwhelmed with that body one way or another is all I'm gonna say. And Ben's kind of warming up to me. You have no idea how much I missed you. Is the circus missing its clown? Yeah, it's you. You're the clown. Okay. I feel like they mess with each other. But also, he does seem to have a sweet part for her. What's up, Ceres? How are you? Welcome to the most double entendre innuendo stream I have probably ever done. I feel like this is more, I don't know. I saved it, so if it's wrong, I'm gonna go back and choose the right one. You've no idea how much I have missed you. Break. God damn it. Why? So they do mess with each other a little bit more. Okay. Is a circus missing its clown? Okay. So they mess with each other. No, 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 Ceres, no. Oh, you missed it. Oh, no. Oh, there's no, nope, nope. Like, yes, there's a lot, but no. No, this is more. Yeah, this is kind of like a double norm. Yeah. What's up, V? Doing fine, thanks. Kind of upset though, since I just had to spend quite a lot of money replacing suddenly broken stuff. I hate that. I'm sorry. It's been to spend money like that, it must have been like important stuff that you had to get fixed. V, hello, how are you? Okay. Let's see where we get with this. Is a circus missing its clown? After all, I'm not sure who else would have so many jokes to share. You wound me, Jane. I like to think of myself as more of a well-dressed fool. Are you trying to make me let down my guard? You're obviously no fool. I am glad that you agree that I'm well-dressed. On the other hand, while I may not be a fool, I am no clown either. After thinking about it, I have to agree. You're not nearly as amusing as me. Jane, you once asked me, what do you call a fly without wings? And then immediately answered, a walk, without pausing for breath. Fly, walk, that is brilliant. I was a creative genius. Nobody can tell a joke like I can. You know what? I agree. Jokes aside, I am glad that you found a slightly less used outfit to wear. It makes it much easier for us to frolic in this delightful estate that only appears to be partially on the verge of collapse. I am impressed that you noticed my change in clothes. Does this mean Ben saw me in my previous outfit? This changes things. Because there are only a few people who could have seen me in that ragged dress. Still, is he possibly referring to some other outfit? I need to pay attention to what he says. I want more hints from the butterfly. Now that I'm living in this manner, as it beautifully falls apart around my ears, I need to dress appropriately. Does that mean your dress comes equipped with a shield for falling bricks? Bricks? It is the wainscoting you should fear. Not the shiplap, the wainscoting. Got that mixed up. I want to move! Ben, you need to breathe as well as laugh. I remember Ben. Something in me knows him. I know that Jane grew up with him and spent countless hours in his company. I remember nearly nothing about Jane, but I remember Ben. So why am I so afraid to trust him? I need to see if I can get an actual non-joking answer from him. Ben, you're not here to judge my fashion choices. So why are you here? Jane, you wound me. I always have time for your fashion choices. If Duke Byrne will not let me wear a lace-covered gown, then who but you could model it for me? I can see why your father would object. If you continue to show as much skin as you do, the lace would have to be attached to your flesh. So, you can understand why I urgently needed to see you. I actually do not. Why are you here, Ben? Where else would I be? I will always race to be by your side whenever you need me. So, you had decided that I needed you? I had hoped you needed me. Once I have settled horse, we need to speak seriously. I've never ridden as hard or as fast as I did today. Once horse is well, we need time to discuss all that has happened. Preferably over a cup of tea. We're not drinking that, it could be poisoned. I'm just putting it out there right now. Assuming, of course, that the tea in the manor is not as decayed as literally everything else here. Well, I could eat the apples, so hopefully the tea will be fine. Maybe I can impress Ben with my courage or my knowledge of the house. Save. Doing good, just woke up. Nice. Well, sort of a new everyday shoulder bag. I gotta haul all my stuff with something. Oh, man. Oh, man, I need to get myself like an over-the-shoulder like backpack again. I remember when I had, that was like my thing. Is she not dressed appropriately already? I mean, she is now. We weren't earlier. We were not in the first episode. Is she going... Nah. There were a lot of innuendos to her going riding earlier is all I'm gonna say. I have apples. Come on, come on. Why did that not do anything? No need for tea. I have apples. Wait a minute. That didn't show me if it was right or wrong. Let me choose the other one. I'm not afraid of tea. Oh, I'm not afraid of tea is the right one. Okay, so that first option should have had a heartbreak, and there was the heart didn't do anything. That needs to be a little feedback. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought if I answered the apples, then maybe he'd be like, oh, let's give an apple to horse. But no, that's not what happened there. He was disappointed in that answer. I'm not afraid of tea. I'm glad you're willing to risk potential poisoning to spend time with me. I'm flattered beyond belief. Yes, I'm very brave and do not already know that the tea will be perfectly safe to drink. Well, you'll get a chance to show your bravery soon enough if I do not tend to horse immediately. What do you mean? Does he need new tack? I think I saw some saddles off to the side. I'll check their condition. I want to move. I want to move because there's something up here that I want to check. Some of these might actually be useful if you can ignore the strange length of the stirrups. Oh no, Jane. I think you'll get to test your courage sooner than I expected. What do you mean? Welcome back, horse. I knew a horse would not be able to resist the smell of your hair for long. I always wish to be showered with spittle from a horse's mouth. I finally get to live out my deepest fantasies. I hope I can help you revise your fantasies slightly. Ooh, what? However, I will need to settle horse down before we can speak. Yes, after you care for horse, come to the manor. Make sure to stable horse first. I do not want to have tea mixed with horse spittle. It is obvious we have a lot to discuss. I think I'll take horse for a quick ride because he's too worked up to immediately put him in the stall. You seem to understand him very well. Take him for a good ride. Just know that I will waste no time taking the best tea desserts for myself. I would expect no less from you. After all, time is a terrible thing to waste. Mm-hmm. Time is a terrible thing. Ben, are you here to... Time is a terrible thing to waste. Oh no. Oh no. I need to go wash my hair. Now. I told you that the sun is not... See you for tea. There's something up here. Damn it. I wanted to see the thing that was up there. This game have neutral choices too, or is everything... So remember, Otome's, it is either love or hate. There is no neutral. It's always love or hate. Now I need to think. See, yeah, that was a wall before when we were talking to, the Duke. By the blood, what happened during those final moments with Ben? Something in the back. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck. We were having a perfectly pleasant horse spittle-soaked conversation when all of a sudden... Who is that? I'm going to get scared. My head began to ache and I heard Ben's voice say time is a terrible thing to waste in an oddly distorted voice. I need you to be more aware of your surroundings, ma'am. You're scaring me. That was not even the worst of it. Immediately after Ben spoke, I heard my voice say, Ben, are you here to... I don't like that I can't see his face. I might actually be a little scared. Of an Otome. Only that was not my voice, was it? It was the voice of the actual Jane Neville. The villainess who should be trying to survive this terrible story. I saw this thing. This was the thing at the top. This head. This was at the top. Oh, we're gonna die. Oh, we died. We died. We died. We're dying. We're dying. Unfortunately, the villainess could not just tell me what Ben had planned. Lady Jane said, Ben, are you here to... I don't want to click it next. I'm scared. But what was Ben here to do? Help me? Murder me? Serenade me with a song about horses' eating habits? I'm gonna click it. I'm not gonna look. Okay, I was able to... He was smaller on my other screen. Are you sure those are the only things Ben Burren might do? Are you the voice? Oh, you again. Well, it seemed as if you could use a sympathetic ear, and perhaps some other assistance. I thought you had planned to leave me alone to make my own choices that I would regret forever. Yeah, mysterious doctor who heals with stabby stab daggers. Yep, yep. I'm not sure that is exactly what I said, but I'm not making your choices for you. I am here to listen. What if that's the actual Jane Neville? What if the voice I thought was like the narrator stuff? What if that's the actual story Jane Neville? Honestly, it is nice to talk to someone who cannot murder me. Even if the only reason you cannot murder me is because you do not appear to have a body and have sworn to no longer control mine. If you could stop reminding me that literally everything and everyone else here can murder me, that would get along very well. Or we would get along very well. I will avoid providing more warnings. For now. I'm more interested in your thoughts. I have so many thoughts. For one, I thought I understood what was happening with Ben until I heard both his voice and my voice in my mind. Now I have to worry about Ben being the male lead. This is despite the fact that childhood friends are supposed to be loving but ultimately disposable in terrible romance novels. Until I heard those voices, I was convinced that the childhood friend could never win over the heroine. Thus, Ben could never be the former fiancé who betrayed Lady Jane. Did you not see Lord Burren's collarbones? I admit that it was a terrible mistake not to take Ben's collarbones into account. However, I was too hypnotized by them myself to realize the danger. So you realize Ben Burren is a potential danger to you? Well, no, because the situation is even more confusing than it was before my vision. According to what I understand, there should be two men involved in this story. One of these men should be the fiancé who betrayed me, and the other should be the patron who saved me. As for who Ben is... Ben, are you here to... could be followed by help me or harm me. So he could fit either of these roles. So it'll be easy to determine which role Ben Burren fits. But that is the problem. Ben, the childhood friend, is not the only man in this manor. I also met Edmund, the Crown Prince, and Ezel, the Duke of the North. So I must deal with 3 men in 2 roles. That seems like a very confusing math problem. Yes, especially since I have no idea why I have a 3rd wild card here. I do not even know which man is my patron and which is my fiancé. So what am I supposed to do with a 3rd? Make him my hedge trimmer? It seems as though you could use a guide who could help you. Are you volunteering for the role? I'm always willing to give you a nudge in the proper direction. Does this nudge involve taking control of my body as you did when you made me run from Prince Edmund? Would you not have run from him anyway? Perhaps I would have. Perhaps I would not. Either way, the choice should have been mine. Why should it matter if the choice is yours or mine, if the choices are the same? The person making the choice matters most of all. If I must live through a wretched story that seems determined to torture me, I need to control my own destiny. Even if you mean well, even if you are truly trying to help me, even if you are right, I must be the person who controls my fate. I do not understand. When I made you run, you called it a terrible choice. Yet you believe it was a good choice when you ran on your own? Well, yes. I am perfectly capable of making terrible choices on my own. I never denied that. Sometimes the choices I make will be terrible or will seem terrible to someone like you. But they're still my choices. This is my life I am risking. What happens to me must be my responsibility. So, you would rather do something foolish on your own than something wise under my direction? I am Afraid that I do not understand. Look, it seems as if you wish to help me. Goodness knows you might be the only one. However, you can help me by respecting that I would rather bet my life on my own investigative genius than be someone else's puppet. I will take responsibility for my own actions and for my fate. However, I will always be grateful for your wise suggestions and advice. So could you warn me about the dude in the back there? With the sword? Does that mean I can still send you ominous warnings once in a while? Like the dude fucking creeping on us? Only as long as they are the most ominous warnings. That seems fair. Beware of strangers bearing bushes. Now that was a good warning. I am now ready to proceed. Somewhere. That is opened up again. He is gone. Oh my god. Yeah, the voice is not the mysterious doctor. No, no, no. No, Ceres, I'm with you. I also am a little confused by this game. You missed the Duke earlier. The dude likes a list, and I was like, oh man. I'm wondering if this is like a really big setup to like the rest of the game, or if us in this manor is the entirety of the game. Let's go for a little bit longer. So, shall I just walk the hedge until I find somewhere else? That's a new place. That looks as good a place as any. Hopefully I shall eventually find some food that is not apples on my journey. We back at the front of the manor again? We are. Take in the surroundings, chat. No stabby McStabberson doctor out here. I don't think. Wait, we have to go to the other side. The crow is gone. Okay, the crow is back. There's no one in the windows. Hydrate! Thank you, Tomby. How does the house manage to look ominous during the day? Truly, there are no end of ominous objects here. If I remember the ominous voice's warning, then I should also check one object in particular. Are you a naughty bush? No, you do not seem to be being carried by a stranger. You seem to be an ordinary boxwood bush. Still, that does not mean you cannot be naughty. I'll be keeping my eye on you. I do not think I'm very naughty. Nobody thinks they are not. Well, technically, I have heard small children say that they have been naughty before they start shrieking and spill strange liquids on me. I am very confused. Me too. Well, is that not how the bush got stumped? Could not get to the root of the problem. I was wondering how such an overgrown bush could be the lead of a romance. But you could charm anyone with your amazing sense of humor. I do not think I am that unshaven. Is it the prince? It is! Once again, the second thing that we thought was an inanimate object. Oh, it's the sparkles. It's the sparkles. The sparkles means it's the prince. So, Your Majesty, remember when I ran from you? My bad. The leaves are poisonous, or is it venomous? Oh, what is it? I always mix the two. Snakes are venomous. If you eat something, it's poison. If you bite it and you die, it's poisonous. If it bites you and you die, it's venomous, right? I want to say that's what I think it is. You are the shiniest bush I've ever seen. It is naughty to blind people with your light. Shiny? Do you mean that all the metal on me is shiny? I suppose even if you are a strange male lead, you still need to have some kind of fancy decoration somewhere. I do not know what else I would expect from a tale set in a manor like this. This is a gorgeous manor. Is the metal you just mentioned reflecting enough light to interfere with your vision? If his voice is pitched lower, even though it keeps saying the bush, we know it's him. If it bothers you, I will reduce the reflection. Thank you for the advice. What if they're just all very much in love with me and my fiance was just a piece of shit? That's not any of them. That's a thought, right, chat? Prince Edmund? I called the Crown Prince of Carcosa a naughty bush after previously running away from him. Even if he was not already planning to murder me, surely now he wants me dead. Please, Jane, could you please call me Edmund again? Are the men in this novel very cunning or just strangely unbothered by insults? Good night, Tompy! Yeah, I'll be pretty busy tomorrow, but I'll try to send a message if I can. Have a good night. So does everyone know they're a fictional character in this game, or am I still hopeless? So we are isekai'd into a novel, but we don't remember anything about us or about the novel. So, and then we're in this really confusing there is a lot of confusion. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of confusion. But only we know that we are not, only we know that we are in a novel. Everyone else, I'm not sure what they think they know. All the better for me. I just need to handle the situation very subtly and there will not be any problems. Hello, Edmund. I was definitely not at all concerned that you were going to murder me on the spot. I am happy to call you by the name I definitely remember calling you, Edmund. Hello, Jane. I too am behaving very normally. I am not at all nervous about seeing you again. I also definitely did not crouch down in a bush to be able to look you in the eye. It was perfectly normal for us to stare at one another through a bush for a long period of time. Bushes are very interesting. Absolutely. There is nothing like a lush bush to make someone want to stare and sink their face into it, like we did. This is going very well. Still, I will have to be careful because Edmund seems to be nearly as subtle as I am. So, Edmund, we have somehow met yet again. Is there a reason you've come to see me? I have many reasons. Too many reasons to speak of right now, Jane. At least not before we have some tea. Anyway, in happier news, you look very healthy, Jane, and not as though you plan to run from me. I definitely am not planning to run. I was kind of planning to run. Me and Jane, same page, same thinking. Saber, Hisashi Booty. Yes, the most natural conversation in the history of conversations, 100%. She does have a point. Jane does, in fact, have a very good point. I am definitely planning to run. Just not in front of someone who could easily have me beheaded. I see the guillotine enough in my dreams. I do not need to see it in reality. After all, royalty can be very unstable. I'm not sure why I know that, but it feels true to me. I am glad. After all, I was able to find you because I knew you'd be running in circles, since it is too hard to run in squares. But you have such a great sense of humor. So do you. I'm so glad to laugh with you again. Perhaps this meeting can be more pleasure than pain. Ah, a chance for me to be witty or to subtly express my concerns. Only if you keep your blade sheathed. I try to bring more pleasure than pain. Save. I've not been doing too well on what the answers could be, so I've been saving and then going back and choosing the right option. I'm not even going to lie about that. I try to bring more pleasure than pain. I feel like that's a good one. Yes! I try to bring more pleasure than pain. I am pleased to hear that. Although technically pleasure is a form of pain. That is incredibly alarming. I mean, interesting to hear. I should take you to see my drawings sometime. They're very informative about a variety of subjects. What do your secret drawings show? How fast can I run if his drawings demonstrate that Edmund takes pleasure in giving pain? Perhaps his beauty distracts vulnerable young ladies before he sheathes his blade in them. I'm not gonna lie, I think the beauty is what gets him to sheathe his blade in them. You have to connect the dots. You have to do it. I'm not making it any clearer for you guys, okay? Saves come away. When in doubt, save, and then save again. 100%. So how do you tell what's internal monologue and what they're saying to each other? Sometimes the camera dims everything but the character, but sometimes it doesn't seem to be doing that. So yeah, so when the background dims, but the Jane, is clear, that is her thinking to herself. But if it's the voice that has like just text at the where like Edmund is, where it's just a text, I'm not 100% sure if she's speaking out loud or if she's speaking in her brain kind of thing. But in this case, they're speaking to each other. If everything is lit up, then they're speaking out loud. He just loves his blade. There's nothing we can do about that, you know? Let the man love his blade. We don't blade shame here. We don't do that. I can't, God. There are a lot of topics, although some of the drawings are incomplete. Perhaps you would like to finish the bird. It already has a head, a body, and feet, so you can just wing it. Wing it. It's her, sorry. wing it. You're fiendishly clever, Edmund Alpin, but I will not be fooled. If you try to demonstrate that you enjoy pain, you will feel my boot against your throat. Bro! That's a blush? The man likes the idea of my boot against his throat. Immediate blush. If you have not connected the dots. That would bring more pleasure than pain, Malate. God, I can't. What do you mean? Are you saying that I do not have the strength to... Why do you keep using the vocab word mount? Why? What do you mean? Are you saying that I do not have the strength to mount you effectively? The rest of the men, it just kind of, I don't know. I feel like it just went over their heads. Edmund is, oh God. Just that having you on top of me is always a a pain, no, what? I really like hardwood. Did you know how much of it there is on this estate? Pardon me? I was able to get much better look at how unusual the designs in the manor were when I was trapped in the entrance to this place. Trapped? What do you mean? I tried to follow after you when you left, but the door closed and then locked behind you. On the positive side, by the time I was able to exit, I had memorized the design of the wainscoting. It is an interesting pattern. Did you know that there's wainscoting on the ceiling? Unfortunately, yes. However, I want to know more about how you were trapped. It was very strange. The door refused to open when I tried it. Then, once I focused my attention entirely on the most delightful molding, I turned around and the door was wide open. I went out and you were nowhere to be seen, but then there you were. Did you run because you were attacked by the cap molding? It did look very suspicious, even if it is beautiful. So right now, this is her within her own thoughts. Edmund is obviously very clever to notice the danger and the beauty of the wainscoting. But does that mean he's telling the truth about what happened to him? Did the house truly prevent him from coming after me when the choice to run was made for me? Does that mean the house will no longer help me if I will not accept the voice's help? I cannot go any longer without knowing this. For some reason, the apple I had saved in my dress has disappeared, so... Apple! Where? Jane? I need an apple. I could see if there are some in the pantry in the manor. No need. The house still loves me. I'm very interested in hearing more about your thoughts on this house and how you managed to conceal an apple in that dress. My thoughts on the house? Yes. This manor does not seem to be using the design I had suggested, so I was wondering if you knew of any good areas to visit. I've always enjoyed our debates around architecture. Well, that was because you enjoyed seeing me get so excited that I jumped higher than a house. Because a house cannot jump. I'm going to enjoy spending time with you, Jane. Edmund plans to spend time with me here? Why? I need to find more information. Are you here to solve mysteries? Are you here to stop my evil? Ooh, safe. What's up, Arctic? How are you? Yay, sudden apples. I know. When in doubt, sudden apple. Everybody envires some hardwood from time to time. Sure, that makes sense. Absolutely. Are you here to stop my evil? Yeah, do they know I'm a villainess? Breaks. Dang it. Load. I I read a lot of comics, and sometimes they're like, sometimes the love interest or like the person who like kills them kind of thing is like, oh yeah, I know you're the villainess and I support the villainy. So I was like, maybe this is one of those moments. It is not one of those moments. So are you here to solve mysteries? After all, what could be more mysterious than who is trying to kill Lady Jane Neville? Though how the house has an endless supply of apples is also very suspicious. Perhaps Edmund is here to solve mysteries about myself or the house. Oh, I understand. Edmund has already proven that he's cunning and clever. Perhaps he is also an investigative genius. Perhaps Edmund is even the patron who saved me because he needed another investigative genius to help solve these mysteries. Be honest, Edmund. Are you here to solve mysteries or to investigate the dangers of wainscoting? Jane, you are as brilliant as ever. How'd you know that I was here to solve mysteries and destroy problems? Nobody understands subtlety like I do. I'm concerned about your focus on problems, though. You do not have a list, do you? A list? I usually just solve problems in my head. Then you are an investigative genius, too. I'm so flattered to hear you compare me to yourself. I've always dreamed of being as perceptive as you. Now, see, a nice turn of events would be that every single one of them has been isekai'd. And they know about her just as much as she knows about them. Maybe a little bit more, but that would be very interesting. It is as pleasing as seeing that I have improved my jokes enough to satisfy your sophisticated sense of humor. Of course I appreciate your jokes. After all, no one could be more talented than either of us in either investigation or comedy. Still, as brilliant as we both are, we will need to make maps and sketch out suspects. What would happen if we could not tell a suspicious piece of wainscoting from a suspicious dresser? I don't know why I want to say dessert. I only hope that you are as good of an artist as you are an investigative genius. Do not worry, Jane. I'll always be able to draw conclusions. I'm glad that I'll be working with you. However, I do want to know something, Edmund. I would be happy to sketch you whenever you choose. That would be... No, I will not be distracted. Why exactly are you here? I am here to make sure you get into no further trouble. The only way I will not get into further trouble is if I am dead. Does this mean he plans to kill me? Or at least that you only get into trouble with me. Trouble with you? Are you planning to cause my problems to mount? No, I intend to cause perfectly innocent trouble. Trouble that does not involve mounting in any way. My mind is always making perfectly innocent plans. That is definitely what an innocent person says. That I'm making perfectly innocent plans. No, no, no. Join us in the gutter, sweet boy. You've shown us who you are. Come to the gutter with us. I'm not gonna romance you, but you can come to the gutter. We will allow you to join the community in the gutter, because, honey, you're already there. They are so into riding horses. It's a very common hobby amongst all these people right now. What sort of plans are you speaking of? Our plans. After all, we always love discussing our plans for the country together. Did you know that the wainscoting in the parlor of our kingdom's palace was first designed in... Edmund and I had plans for the country? What was our relationship to one another? The only people who plan together are people who are intimately involved. Was I his investigative genius? Did I serve as an aide to the crown? Was he my fiancé? Jane, are you all right? You seem lost in thought. Pardon me? Forgive me, but have you forgotten our past plans? Did your time in prison harm your memory? Okay, so he knows we were in prison. Edmund knows that I was in prison. This is an alarming thought for later, but I have an even more alarming immediate concern. I cannot let anyone know I do not remember this terrible story, or even more importantly, that I am not actually Lady Jane Neville. Edmund must never realize that I am not the Lady Jane that he once knew. He and the other men might end up pricking me with their swords if they learn that I'm not the woman they want me to be. How can I subtly distract Edmund from his suspicions? Save. Let's do this one. You are my best plan? Okay. Once again, this is missing. There was an update, so some things could have been, when they updated something, it could have also, like, messed up some other things. Okay, so it's not really? Our plans make me dizzy with joy. Reading chat. It's like there's an equestrian Olympic Games going on. Well, I'm certainly jumping through hoops with some of these situations. They do? I am lightheaded at the very thought of our many, no doubt, amazing plans that I definitely remember and do not fear at all. So you would be happy to draft that 37-page report on the condition of linen in the poorest communities in Carcosa? Of course! I love linen. Or, I love reports. And linen. I love neither reports nor linen. Jane Neville was brave beyond my understanding if she was willing to wear coarse linen and write about the experience. And then, once we have crept out of the dark alley and avoided potential death, we can... What? Once the squirrels get involved, they will be unable to resist supporting our demands, since we can no longer count on the... What? When you swing down into the royal audience chamber with the children singing behind you, I know you can avoid the Shadow Guard and their deadly poisons because we practiced. Edmund. Yes? Edmund, I think it's best that I keep track of which plans that we should be following. I am dizzy with delight at the thought of revising them. Will this make Edmund angry? Will he pull out his well-polished blade to prick me now? Okay, we gotta stop doing this. Even if it angers Edmund, I cannot allow a plan that involves both singing children and squirrels. I'm so glad, Jane. I'm so glad and so grateful. I've missed... I will follow any plans you want, Jane. Any plans at all. Are you sure about that, Edmund? After all, if you do not understand one of my plans, we might not be able to use it. I might need to explain it. Some of these jokes are perfect, and some of these jokes I'm just like, shake my head. Plans or ex-plans? I'm happy to follow your lead, Jane. As you should. Are you sure we cannot use the squirrel? No. I cannot tell if Edmund's insistence on rodents is because he has a cunning plan to test whether or not I am Jane Neville, or because he needs someone like me to make plans for him. Either way, I must come up with a way to stop Edmund from suspecting me. Unfortunately, he is the most subtle man I have met so far. While I enjoy speaking with you, I am exhausted from all that has happened to me. It's been so challenging to fight off both the wainscoting and and my very real memories of being in prison that I cannot think of anything but my pain. The terrible, terrible pain in my heart when I realize that I will never again be able to dance the beautiful sword dance of my heart without thinking of all that is past. You can sword dance? You can sword dance well? Was it only Azel who was interested in sword dancing? Edmund actually has a blade. He's constantly polishing, so I assumed that he would enjoy sword dancing as well. If I am wrong, I must stop Edmund's doubts immediately. Not anymore! Not after my deep, deep sorrow. You see, I feel the deepest sorrow at the thought of being pricked. No pricking. I would not even dream of pricking anything, let alone you, constantly. Her pricking and his pricking are two very different things. And I'm just letting you guys know, he thinks about pricking her with his polished blade nightly. Nightly. I've seen the Crown Prince nightly. Get it? Nightly? Never mind. That is very good to hear. Still, Jane, you hate dancing. So why would you mention sword? My pain! It has become even deeper. Forgive me. No, forgive me. I'm sorry. Jane, I should have remembered all that you have suffered. I do not blame you, Edmund. No one could possibly know all the terror I have experienced. Mostly from the thought of ominous cushions or falling wainscoting. Or all the pain I have suffered. I would not have a sore neck after being trapped in a carriage going nowhere for a long period of time. Or the trials I have faced. Despite what the house seems to think, apples are not actually a full meal. That's not even considering the trial of being pulled into a terrible story that makes no sense. I should be weeping. In rage. Oh, Jane. I truly regret all the pain you have experienced and all the cruelties you have endured. If there's anything I can do to help you. I am sure you would do whatever you could to help me, Edmund. Though perhaps we can speak of something better than bitter memories. Especially since I do not remember these bitter memories. Of course, Jane. As always, I'd gladly do anything you ask me to. In truth, Yes, Edmund? I'm grateful that after all that we have been through, we're reunited once again. However, I am most grateful that you are once again Jane in all ways. Jane in all ways? What does that even mean? I was so worried that... Yes? What were you worried about, Edmund? Edmund? Are you well? Yes, I am. More importantly, I was worried. I just hope that neither of us need to experience what we went through again in the future. Do they all regret maybe what's happened to her? Maybe they all regretted that she died? That they think all of their choices together led to this point? That she died? So, let's just get one thing straight, I think, here. I think if you read this game, read the story seriously from beginning to end, you're going to miss out on it doesn't make sense, and Jane realizes it doesn't make sense, and that she is playing into a character half the time. She is playing into being the villainess. And I think when you're reading it, you have to take into account, like, that conversation of her being like, oh, the pain, I can't bear to talk about it. Because I actually don't know what I'm talking about. And all the trials and tribulations of, like, not getting a full fucking meal. Like, I think you have to see it that way. Otherwise, it really becomes, like, you think it's, like, a bad game story. When I think the game is making fun of a bad story, right? Like, that's what I'm starting to think. The more I play this game, the more I'm starting to think that maybe... Like, because she mentions it, like, this is a bad story. She says it. So, I don't know. I'm trying to get there. Because there's just some things that don't link up, and I'm like, I don't think the writers would do that intentionally, right? That's my thinking. Mudgi, hello! I'm just out of the loop, so nothing makes sense to me. That's fair. This is part 2, by the way. Guys, this is part 2. So if you guys don't understand what's going on here, wait a couple of weeks and the VOD will be out with part 1, I promise. I must go polish my sword this very instant. We can absolutely make jokes, though, about the polishing of swords. There's so many double entendres and innuendos. We are allowed to make fun of that. We are allowed to go on these jokes for forever. I would be upset if we didn't. I did read that. I hope not. With luck, I can avoid further difficulties in the future. No matter how many bad romance novels I was foolish enough to read. Bad romance novel? Never mind. Just remember that I am definitely the Jane you have always known. How could Edmund not be convinced by my incredible display of subtlety? Now is my chance to be even more subtle and convince him to help me leave this house. If you like the Jane who you know I most definitely am, I have an even better suggestion. Once I'm away from this house, I can continue being a perfectly normal Jane each and every day. Yes, I, too, am the Edmund you have always known. Unless you want me to be a different Edmund, in which case... Wait. Away from this house. Jane, you know it'll be some time before... Before what, Edmund? Before tea? Before the wainscoting eats us? Or do you mean... before I can leave here? Jane, you are free to do as you wish here. I know this place might not be as you are used to, but if there's anything I can do to comfort you... Comfort me? Edmund, I know that you're trying to help, but do you know what would comfort me? Probably not me telling you a joke about the difference between a hedgehog and a sheathed sword. Oh, what is the answer? On a hedgehog, the pricks are on the outside. No, you cannot distract me with your comedic genius. Be honest, Edmund. Why can I not leave the house as I please? Jane, I have no more ways to persuade you. However, please remember that I promised you that you would not regret trusting me, even if your father... My father? Yes, your father and mother would both want... Why should I care about what they want? After all, the beloved family of Jane Neville has already demonstrated how much they care for her. Yes, your family has definitely shown how much they care for you. By not helping me when I needed them the most, and now leaving me to stay in a strange house in the middle of nowhere with a man who speaks of nothing but pricking. Is that how you see the situation? Why does my head hurt? Why does my heart hurt? Oh, Edmund. Why did the clock fail to become a chef? Because he ran out of time? I do not know how much time I have to prove myself to you, Jane, but I promise I'll do everything I can to be worthy of your trust. Trust? I trust that you can make me smile. I will do everything I can to bring joy in all ways, milady. I do not care what it costs me. Why did I say that? Why did he say that? What is going on here? I'm really trying to connect dots. Yeah, all actual romance. Like, yeah. So the thing that's getting me is that there are moments, and not just the staticky things, there are moments that he is saying things that doesn't seem in character. Like, for some reason, it seems like Ezel and Ben might actually be characters, but Edmund sometimes comes across as, like, someone else who was isekai'd. Like, I don't know. There's just moments where, like, they all, actually, even Ezel had the plans and the list. And Ben thought that we needed him, so he came running. It's like they all know what happened to us. It's like they all know that, like, we're going to die or that someone's trying to kill us. But, like, in an out of, like, the story kind of way. I don't know. This is only the demo, by the way. So this is absolutely, the demo is prepping us for, like, the rest of the story of, like, this now makes sense. What is going on here? I need Edmund to leave so I can think. Shall we head back to the house? I'm truly exhausted and I want nothing more than a cup of tea. I will be happy to arrange that. Surely there must be an unmolded tea bag somewhere in this place. Perhaps it is hiding in the baseboards? Or he could just ask servant. However, if Edmund wishes to find the tea bag himself as part of a cunning plan to determine what I have been doing, that gives me more time to recover. Then I shall wish you luck on your adventure, Edmund. Make sure to prepare a delicious tea for us. If you can bring a dozen little cakes as well, I may even forget what pain is. I will do my best. The manor's wainscoting will hide nothing from me. Unfortunately, if Edmund looks there, all he shall find are apples. Still, so long as Edmund leaves, I can even sacrifice some delicious tea cakes. What is most important is getting him out of my way. Just a little more subtle flattery should do it. How very brave and princely of you to search through the house's wainscoting. You're truly a knight in shining armor. All those lovable maidens must adore a prince who can fetch them some tea. I'm not sure about that, Jane. I've not always served lovable maidens as well as I would have liked. By served, does Edmund mean for dinner? No, I do not think he does. Did I read cannibal romances in my past life? Well, you thought you read, like... Never mind. We're not going back to what you thought that you read with Ben. Nope, we're not doing it. No, I do not think there are cannibal romances. Romance readers would not want the male lead to devour the heroine. Just leave that there. What's up, Chimeri? Oh, thank you. I think it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited to go. So, Edmund saying that he has not always served lovable maidens well must refer to something else. Something that I must investigate later. I'm gonna give you a little hint. It's probably going to be in a bed. Either yours or his, but that's just my thinking. Still, I will do as you ask me to, Jane. I want you to make yourself at home here, especially since, well, there's always been something haunting about you, Jane. Now that you're here, you fit this place so perfectly. Is Edmund trying to insult me or compliment me? His subtlety may be more powerful than I imagined. Being compared to the house should be an insult since it's both murderous and decrepit. On the other hand, Edmund appears to think the house is beautiful. He even complimented the molding. Perhaps he is attracted to houses? I really need to figure out how hairy, horse-like, or house-like the heroine is. Perhaps that might provide another clue for who is the male lead of this novel. You look exhausted, Jane. Let me brave this house for you. I'll find the little cakes of your dreams. That scared me. Little cakes, here I come. Someone's about to be like, that was my nickname in college. I know, I want the cakes too. Work be crazy on a Friday for the last few weeks. Don't love that. Oh my god. I'm right there with you, Kai Mary. But I mean, like, are you getting time off for summer or anything? Are you doing anything? I know you just moved though recently, so maybe don't have the finances for that. But are you gonna do anything fun for the summer? So am I not supposed to follow after him? I thought you wished for a moment to think. Oh, is it time for one of our chats again? Did you not wish to speak with me? I thought you welcomed our conversations. It is pleasant to speak with you when you're not reminding me of my imminent doom. However, we did not speak all that long ago. Does that mean you're here with an ominous warning? You're very good at ominous warnings. Need to make sure I can't move. No. Is it a cryptic message? I'm already so confused that a cryptic message would not upset me further. So provide the message. Fine. I might have been curious about your thoughts. My thoughts? Are you curious about whether I've found even more murderous objects or had any more ominous revelations? I do think I should be wary of the naughty bush. Who do you find the most attractive? What? Who do you find the most attractive? What? Why is the world going dark? Ooh! Ooh, I do find myself attractive. I am gonna go with Ezel though, because he is the most attractive. Even though I'm really liking the others, I'm going Ezel, because I had it, he was mine from the beginning. Ezel. You're attracted to a cane-wielding duke who's obsessed with lurking in bushes. Now look, I can take that lurking in bushes and use it to my advantage, okay? Don't ask what the advantage of that is, just know that I can. What is wrong with a man who enjoys some undergrowth? After all, it means that his beloved does not need to worry about constantly trimming things. The game knew where I was going. Good. Great. Excellent. Oh, Saris, have a great nap. Thanks for hanging out with us. Took my birthday off later this month, but I mean, that's fair. I don't really have an extra vacation days. I'm taking the national holidays off, but that's really it. So, good on you for taking your birthday off, though. Her gardens can flourish in all their glory. I'm not sure if you even know what you're implying. I do. She doesn't. I do. Oh, are you being mysterious again? You could learn a thing or two about being clear from Ezel. He's open about everything he does, whether it's swinging his cane, writing his lists, or pricking women with his sword. Remember, Ezel said he would only prick a woman after matrimony. Did you finally realize what the Duke meant when he spoke of pricking women? Of course I do. To be fair, I'm not convinced the Duke understood either, but still. You are not disturbed by his pricking? You asked who I found the most attractive. If I didn't find him attractive, I wouldn't have chosen him, and I wouldn't have... Never mind. Of course not. After all, Isel was clear about his interest in sword dancing. So if I'm truly attracted to him, I will need to grab a sword at some point and prick him several times. There's a different P word for that. It's not pricking. Ah! It just goes. I think it's gonna stop, and then it doesn't. It keeps going. Only then can I see his personal bush. We're the voice. We are the voice. Only the voice gets what the fuck is going on. Voice? Are you fine? I am very fine indeed. Though my ability to instantly visualize any scene I am presented with, I do not think it will ever be fine again. Seriously though, what was that? I asked you a question and you answered like people do in conversation. Most people in normal conversations do not have choices whispered in their ear, while a voice makes strange noises indicating there's a time limit to reply. You did not like my musical indication of your remaining time? I've been told that my music is very unique. Fun fact, you can't hear the music because YouTube doesn't like it, so I have to turn it off for this. Twitch as well. Apologies. That is true, but why did you need to pressure me into a time limit anyway? This question did not seem like something that required me to think quickly. Besides, I thought you were going to stop forcing my choices. I was not forcing your choices, I promise. You just what? I'm very impatient. I cannot wait very long to know such important information. You think it's important to know who I am attracted to? I can understand the curiosity since I'm a very lovable lady who has excellent taste. And you probably wish to discuss your own attractions as well. Still, I'm trying to avoid being murdered. I do not have time to contemplate how gorgeous everyone here is. I must focus on the danger around me like the ominous warnings you previously provided. Danger? Like the danger hiding inside these men's trousers? What are you talking about? Oh, you mean the security measures that I was taking when I was searching for ominous cushions. I'm so glad the game calls itself out. Searching for ominous cushions? Is that what you were doing when you were looking over the men's trouser fronts? Yes! There are only so many places even cunning men could store dangerous cushions to use as weapons. Trousers make the most sense. I'm very concerned about stuffing. That is a valid concern. For those of you who don't know, in part 1, I almost died to some cushions. So it actually is a valid concern. God. Unfortunately, I could not find any cushions no matter how hard I looked. So here I am, stuck with the potpourri horseman, the peeping hedgeman, and the human chandelier. So it seems. Can I not just lock them all in a room and have them prick each other? I immediately need to know. I think Blurty played this game as well. I immediately need to know what Blurty Otome thought of this. I need to go watch hers. Your ability to find solutions to things that were not problems until you suggested them is remarkable. Like my investigative skills. No, your investigative skills truly are works of genius. See, we have much more interesting conversations when we focus on helpful ways for me to avoid danger. Why ask me stressful questions? So you're saying that if the question is focused on danger... What? Who is the most dangerous in the house? The naughty bush. I don't know. I feel like the servant's questionable. I think it's the naughty bush. It can only be naughty bush. In fact, it can only be the same naughty bush that's rustling somewhere in front of us right now. Yes, even if your question is absurd beyond belief, the answer is designed to prove how absurd the question is. Oh no, the answer is good enough to make the question actually valuable. I need to hear more of your reasoning. You see, I now know you were correct when you warned me about Naughty Bush during our last conversation. Well, yes, I was, although I actually wanted you to make sure that I kept my wits about me where foul foliage frolics, where horrid hedges hide, where terrible topiary trembles. This is the strangest moment in my entire existence, which is truly saying something. Just think of that naughty bush rustling away so devilishly. It's so lush, so green, so utterly overgrown. It's just so naughty. No other words can describe its cunning. Remember when this bush... Okay, I thought maybe I could move. Pretended to be a normal, peaceful shrubbery. Of course, my investigative genius revealed that it is actually... I can't move anything. Concealing unspeakable, rustling evil. Or perhaps I should say that it is... Oh no. Please, I beg you, say no more. Beating around the bush when it comes to its brutality. I regret everything. You cannot regret anything more than I regret my choice in reading material, my friend. Especially not when the books I read contain such vicious vegetation. My lady, I believe that we all now carry deep regrets. Thank you, ominous voice, for helping me collect my thoughts. I admit that while I was skeptical about your question, it did help me focus my investigative genius. That achievement justifies everything that I just experienced. Still, while I'm thankful for your support, I somehow feel worse than ever. After all, even if I know who the most suspicious and probably murderous being in this manor is, I have no concrete evidence against them, and no way to defend myself should they attack me. What could I even do? Ask the house for a supply of apples to use as ammunition? If you continue to respect the wainscoting, that might be a viable strategy. But what if I do accidentally insult the wainscoting? What if I express the wrong kind of interest in hard wood? What happens to me if the house abandons me? My lady, life and death are two leaves of the same vine. To grow the leaf you want, you must first seed the vine. I, appreciate your attempts at consolation or, even worse, advice. But even more than that, I would appreciate a murder weapon. One that I could use to fend off an attempt on my life. I see. Does that mean that you are willing to kill any of the inhabitants of this house, should they try to harm you? If I'm being truly honest, no. Yet that terrifies me because I do not believe that my enemy would hesitate to kill me. Worse still, my enemy has to be one of these people who are pretending to care for me. It is cruel to be trapped in a narrative beyond your control. I thank you for your understanding. There is something horrifying about being trapped within a character that a story is determined to destroy. I do not understand why someone would enjoy creating a character doomed to be destroyed, no matter what that character did. Unfortunately, there are those who believe that in order for themselves to win, someone else must lose. What a cruel and wrong way to see the world. If my investigative genius succeeds, everyone around me succeeds. Why would anyone want to destroy that success? Well, some people are cruel and wrong. So what do you do when someone that terrible controls your fate? In the end, all anyone can do is make choices that reflect their values and decide which companion should join them on their journey. But what if one of those companions wishes to destroy me? The bush. Will you take responsibility? Will you? Save the Villainess? Is that the end of the demo? Hey, little buddy! Is that the end of the demo? Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. I did that joke last time, I'm sorry. I wasn't ready for it to be the end of the demo. Huh. Well. Go me. I finished another game on my list. Okay. All cards on the table, right? There's going to be players out there that say there's too many double entendres and innuendos, and I want people to know I am satisfied with the amount that there is. And if they want to put more in the game, I would be totally fine with that. Because some of these characters are like just so stupid, and I find it so funny that it's just whoosh over their heads half the time that I love it. I want more. I actually like that. I will say there's so many confusing bits. She doesn't know anything as the main character. She knows nothing. The romances, the possible suitors are not giving us answers. And so I'm kind of low-key just thinking, like, is it just the wainscoting? Does the wainscoting have all the answers for me at this point? So I will say that. What's up, Don Zio? More double entendres. I live for that dad humor. Oh my god, absolutely. Absolutely. There's gonna be people out there again who think it's too much. I'm like, no, it's never enough. For us in the gutter, it's never enough. I do think that it's a very confusing demo, right? I think that they have to be very careful because things gotta make sense. They had a Kickstarter, still have a Kickstarter. It's they got it fully funded, like that kind of thing. But I think they've got to be careful because they have to start giving some answers in the next bit because there's so many questions. And not questions of like, oh, how do I get this person to like me? How do I go on a date with this romance? It is, what the fuck is going on? And to some people, it's such a wide what the fuck is going on that they're not going to enjoy it and they're not going to be like, you know what, I want to play the game to find that out. For me, I am. Because some of these characters, I'm like, you're real. You have to be another isekai person. I can't imagine you not. And then some of them I'm like, you are truly characters. And then there's just Stabby McStabberson out there that I like. There's just so many things that I'm like, if I don't get all the answers, if I don't play the game to get the answers, I'm gonna go insane. More insane than I already am. I also might just want to continually play the game so I can have more times of sheathing the sword and getting pricked, and how it's nice to have men who are fine with excessive shrubbery. But anyway, I'm not gonna lie, it is a very confusing premise to begin with. I'm not gonna be out there being like, oh my god, this is great and it totally makes sense. But I think you have to go into it wanting to make your own investigative like thoughts and things on it. I think you have to do that, and you have to realize when sometimes the game is making fun of things, when it's being serious, and like there's a lot of you having to do work, and people are gonna love that or people are gonna hate it. So I think it's very 50-50. But I'm enjoying it. We finished the demo. I can't wait for the full game because I want to see what happens. But YouTube, thanks for coming along this crazy ride with us. It got you. God, there were so many double entendres. So many. But yeah, if you liked it, all the information of the game is going to be down in the description box below. Leave a like, comment. What do you think is going on? Because like I've got so many ideas, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, thanks for watching. And with that, I hope that you have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.